Labradoodle puppies at 4 weeks old. What a lot of changes we're going to see in today's video. We're going to see how much more mobile these guys are once they wake up. We're going to learn a little bit about what Labradoodle puppies are doing when they're 4 weeks old. How come they're biting everything in sight? We're going to talk a little bit about their grooming, and we're also going to talk a little bit about the appropriate toys. Hi, I'm Claire from Van Isle Labradoodles, and these are our mini Australian Labradoodle puppies from the Onyx Shadow litter. And you can see they are ready to rock and roll, play, interact with toys, and interact with people. Now, just last week, we were introducing toys to these puppies, but they were kind of like ho-hum about it. It wasn't the big thing to them. And now you'll see that they're going to play with one another. They're interested in all the noises and the sounds that toys make. They like to bite and chew on everything. And you'll probably see them chewing on my toes, perhaps on my pants, and probably on my hands. So what's with all this chewing? What is going on? Why do puppies bite all the time? Well, this is just the beginning of it. Your puppy is going to be biting quite a bit and chewing voraciously until they're 6 months old. What happens at 6 months? Their adult teeth come in. But until those teeth are through, your puppy is going to go through 2 periods of teething. The first one is when their first baby teeth come in, and that's what's happening with these puppies now. So in the past week, their 4 canines have come in. Those are the sharp, pointy 2 teeth on the top and 2 teeth on the bottom. Those are the first teeth to erupt. And that's what I can already feel on my toes and on my hands whenever the puppies are playing with me. Now, the other teeth are mostly just nubs, although some of them have had those teeth erupt as well. So the reason why your puppy is biting and chewing is because they need to get those teeth through. It is instinctive. They cannot help themselves. It's nothing to do with what type of personality they have, what's going on in their lives. It's simply a matter of they must chew and they must bite in order to get those teeth through. And then no sooner do those puppy teeth all come in, then they start to fall out, and we have to repeat the process for their adult teeth to come in. I don't know what nature was thinking of when they thought this was a good plan for mammals. I know that kids have a hard time with it, and certainly for puppies, it's not easy either. So they have teething pain. And what do we need to do when they have teething pain? Well, of course, we want to soothe that teething pain. What's the very best way to soothe their teething pain? The #1 way is giving them raw bones. Chicken necks and chicken feet are your 2 best choices for that. These are nice, soft bones that are easy for puppies to be able to chew. They also give them a good long amount of time to get that chewing relief. And if you serve them still partially frozen, it also has the added benefit of cooling those inflamed gums and making them more comfortable. So that, and then of course the real bonus is they're full of micronutrients for your puppy. And now you can hear voices. You can hear Mr. Blue there telling you, I can talk, I'm a big boy now. Yeah, hi, Mr. Blue. What do you say, poop-poop-de-doo? What do you say? Oh, good boy. What's that? Is that the giraffe? Are you going to get it? Are you going to kill it? Oh, you don't. He's also trying to wake up his siblings there to get them to engage and play with him. Yeah, oh my goodness, you just have so much to say. So the frozen bones, are the partially frozen bones, provide quite a long time for them to engage with something and also provide all these benefits. So it's one of the very best things you can give to your puppy when they are 6 weeks and older. And it's also great for dogs as adults. You just don't have to serve them partially frozen when they're older because they don't have that teething pain any longer. Tons of micronutrients that are just packed into each one of the chicken feet and the chicken necks. Calcium being one of the main ones, which of course is so important for your puppy's developing bones. You can see that Mr. Blue Collar is not all that coordinated yet as he runs around. So you may not know, but when your puppy goes home with you, their bones are not touching. They are still little infants in terms of their skeletal development, and that's what makes puppies roly-poly. We all like to laugh at them and we find it fun to watch as they're kind of clumsy, but it's really important to remember that those joints and those bones are still developing, and we want to be sure that we protect that development. So what do we need to do for that? Well, the main thing is we don't do repetitive exercise. Number one thing is no stairs at all for the first 6 months. Now, by at all, I mean no flights of stairs. If you happen to have 1 or 2 shallow steps in your backyard that your puppy will use to go to the bathroom, that's totally fine. But definitely no up and down half flights or flights of stairs, anything more than 2 very shallow steps. And that's because their hips are also not fully developed yet. And we want to protect those as best we can from hip dysplasia. Hip dysplasia is more environmentally caused than it is from genetics. It's a very small amount that comes from genetics, but it's a big amount that comes from the environment. So stairs are number one, and then when you're going for walks, you want to keep them really short and do more than one, and hopefully vary your pace, and if you can, vary the terrain. So you just want to be careful you don't do anything that's repetitive. Now, if your puppy's out on a play date with another puppy, then whatever they're doing at their pace is totally fine. You don't need to interfere with that, and you don't need to regulate playtime. They will do that naturally on their own. It's only when you're going on a leash walk or for stairs or something like that. Same with swimming. Nothing at all you don't want to do for the first 6 months. Then after the first 6 months, you want to just be very careful and very aware that you're introducing this on a very gradual basis. And then once they're a year old and they're fully developed, then that's fine. You could go ahead and carry on and do whatever you like with the puppies. Now that the puppies have more teeth going on and they're a little bit more coordinated, what else is happening? Solid food. Misha is more than happy to nurse the puppies. She has a very plentiful milk bar. She's just off camera right now. She was in before, nursed the puppies, and now she's already removing herself from the puppies on a more constant and frequent basis. So why is she doing that? Because they have teeth, and owie. Can you imagine how uncomfortable it is to have 6 puppies nursing with a really super brand new razor sharp teeth? Yikes, no thank you. So if your body is not telling you already that it's time to start weaning your puppies, your mammary glands are certainly going to speak up when you get those sharp teeth on you. So Misha's in here for shorter and shorter periods of time as she's less and less inclined to enjoy the nursing experience. And that coincides perfectly with the puppies getting their teeth and introduction of solid food. So these puppies, you will see a couple of little splatters on them here and there. Their fur is a little bit sticky today because they have started on solid food. Now, so far, mostly what they do is just run through it. At the very end of the video, we'll put the pan down and see what they think about it. They may be too tired, they may be too full, but we'll see if they'll go in and show you their eating style or lack thereof more appropriately. They're pretty messy. They get more on them than in them, but that then gets them to lick it off one another. They figure out, oh, this is what it smells like, this is what it tastes like, and by that then they figure out, well, it comes out of this pan, that's where I need to go. So you may not know that licking, lapping, is not an instinctive behavior for dogs. It's a learned thing. So they have to figure out, how do I get it onto my tongue and into my mouth? And that takes a little while. It's usually quite hilarious to watch, as well as very, very messy. So Misha's doing a great job keeping them fairly clean. They don't look too bad. Normally when we have puppies who are white, like purple color here, we have a lot of muck on them. You can just see a little tiny bit of orange here on his back. And the reason why it's orange is because there's pumpkin in their food. And so why do we put pumpkin in their food? Well, that pumpkin is a natural digestive aid. It really helps them make that transition from mama's milk over to solid food. And what are they eating right now? They're eating a mix of plain rice pablum, organic plain tinned pumpkin, and some raw goat's milk. And then we just we warm the milk up, everything gets mucked up together, and then they go at it. Now they'll only stay eating that at the most until they're 5 weeks old, and then we'll switch them off onto raw and get rid of the pablum. The pablum is there to teach them how to lap because it's thick and it's sticky. So it has far more chance of staying on their tongue and for them to be able to master the art of actually eating as opposed to just nursing. So we'll do that, and then once they've got that figured out and their teeth have come through, their other teeth have come through enough that they can do a little bit of chewing, so to speak, then we'll give them their actual raw food mixed in with the goat's milk. And some of them will start with the raw right away, eating a fair bit of it. Others will just continue to just lap up the goat's milk for a little longer. Each puppy will develop with that at their own rate, some a little faster than others, just like with everything else that they've done. They are going to go at their own pace, and we just leave them to do things at their own pace. So the raw food that they eat, they're going to have had all proteins. And now these puppies, when they go home, we will make a food box for you. So you can have that for a month, 2 months, 3 months, however long you wish. And it will have everything that your puppy is eating. It will come with full instructions, because raw food feeding for your dog is usually something that's fairly new for most of our families. So this way, when you get the food box, you know you've got all the right things, all the amounts are laid out for you, how to rotate it, how to store it, how to thaw it, how to feed it, how to rehydrate it, how to make it so it's not boring for your puppy, but all your puppy's needs are being met. And so from there, you can go and order it in the future and have a good idea of how to go about doing things. Oh, look at the nice waggy tay-tay that I'm getting here from Black Collar Boy. So that's something that we'll talk about a little bit later in the process. Now, the other thing that's happening this week is the puppy's coats are starting to lift. And by lift, we mean from going flat, like we see on Purple Collar here. His coat is not lifted here at all. It's fluffy and it's full, but it's very straight and flat. Whereas if you look over at Blue Collar around his ruff here, you'll see that there's some coat, oh sure, move, that's not helpful. You'll see there's some coat that's beginning to lift here. And this is what gives you the teddy bear Labradoodle look, is the coat comes up and it gives them that beautiful plush, full teddy bear type of coat. Here as well, you can see in Red Collar Girl, hers is starting to lift there too. And in Black Collar Boy, you probably can't see him as well on my black pants, I'll just pick him up. You can see his is also lifting. His is also full of food and quite sticky. Yes, it is quite sticky. But that's what we refer to as the coat lifting. Oh, you've got food all over you. You must have been the plate for everybody to eat off of. Now, grooming your Labradoodle, this is a big deal because, yeah, we love how they look and we love how their coats feel, and it's fantastic that they don't shed hardly at all, but that comes at a cost, and that is regular maintenance. You need to take your puppy at least once every 8 weeks, to be professionally groomed. And in between those 8 weeks, it's really important that you are maintaining their coat at least once every other day. Now, lots of people get a brush, and slicker brushes are really popular, and there's all sorts of knockoffs available at the giant pet stores. A Furminator is a really popular one that looks like, oh, this must be right, this must be what Claire's talking about. Totally the wrong thing. All that does is completely strip and break your dog's coat. You'll have a complete wreck with that. But if you have the proper slicker brush, and of course that's what comes in your puppy starter kit. If you don't have a puppy starter kit, you'll want to order a Chris Christensen brush. They're about, they start around $200 US, and of course they'll be shipping on top of that. But that's the type of style of brush you need. And so lots of people brush with the slicker brush and think, oh, this is great, my dog's groomed. Isn't this wonderful? Well, all you're doing is picking up the top hairs and fluffing them out so it appears your dog's groomed, but you need to get right down to their skin, and you need to do what's called line grooming. So there's a link I'll put in the comments to send you back to our 3 videos on how to groom your puppy. The comb that you're going to need is a butter comb. And what you're going to do is you're going to start with your puppy, and you're just going to go and make a line right down to their skin, brush, 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 and you just go through their whole body from hind legs to their nose. Then you're going to come with your butter comb and you're going to run it over their body, and that's where you're going to find the mats that are down below. So it's really important you're not just brushing the top of their coat, but instead you're going right down to the skin level to get mats out. So why is it a big deal to get their mats out? Well, a couple of reasons. The most important reason is mats are really painful for your dog. Can you imagine if you had a whole lot of knots and tangles in your scalp and it was pulling on your scalp all the time because your hair was all knotted? Yikes, not comfy. Definitely painful for a dog, and they can't do anything about it. They can't go and untangle their own hair. The second reason is purely aesthetic. And that's because if your dog ends up with mats, when they do go to the groomer, the clippers are coming out and they are going to get shaved right down and look very unattractive, and definitely not like an ALD teddy bear. So those are the 2 things that you want to keep in mind. Here's a really great example of the coat lifting here on Black Collar Boy. Looks like he got electrocuted over there and is having a really bad hair day. So you can see really clearly where that one part of his coat is starting to lift. Now back to the bite inhibition. Nobody is biting me, which is unusual, but they're all taking a nap. Normally they would be chewing on my toes, they'd be chewing on my fingers, maybe my pants. We'll see if Black Collar wants to chew on me at all. But what we want to do is to get them used to what our skin and our clothing tastes like, so that they're comfortable with that and they know what that is, so that in the future we can teach them to that one. Right now they're too little to learn no. But first of all, you need to know what it is that this all tastes like. Nobody wants to bite me today, so that we can distinguish that in the future when we start to work on bite inhibition. And that's of course something that we work on with the puppies when they're in Head Start. So that's what everyone's up to. Now we're going to just give you an update on their weights for each of the puppies in birth order as always. So we're going to start with Mr. Blue Collar, who's right here, half behind me. Look at Miss Pink here. She's sleeping with her little toy. She's all cuddled up with her toy there. And this is another way that they really interact with the toys now. They know that mom's not here, and so they start to substitute. And that's why in your puppy starter kit, your puppy will go home with a crate buddy. So if they're in Head Start, they will get a crate buddy that they sleep with, and that will be what goes home as one of the things in your puppy starter kit. So this is Mr. Lively. He doesn't look very lively right now, but Blue Collar Boy, he's the life of the party. He's always running around. He barks at everybody. He tries to get everybody to engage and play with him. Definitely a really nice, fun puppy. And he is 1.97 kilograms, the biggest puppy in the litter. And next we have Green Collar Boy. And Green Collar Boy is hiding back here. You can see this is the puppy that a lot of you call Socks, and one of our families has changed Socks into Socrates, which I really like. I think that's a great name for him. Hi, handsome. Mr. Green is a sweet guy, gentle, so much soul and so much spirit. He's just a real angel, this guy. He loves to have his head hidden like that behind the crate. You will always find if somebody's hiding behind the crate, it's going to be Mr. Green. And he is 1.61 kilograms. And he is the smallest in the litter. So we go from the biggest to the smallest. Then we have Red Collar Girl. Over here, our pretty little red girl. Hey, sweetheart. She's having a snooze there. Red Collar Girl, she's got some spirit. She's got some life to her. She's quite gregarious girl, really fond of people, loves to come up and get a pet and be picked up. And Miss Red Collar is 1.88 kilograms. Then we've got Mr. Black Collar Boy, who is the only puppy who seems to be awake at the moment. Hi, sweetheart. Mr. Black Collar Boy is our gorgeous, gleaming ebony phantom boy. This guy, oh, he is just the most precious baby. So sweet, so gentle, and so fond of people. He will do anything to get a cuddle and a hug. And look at that beautiful eye contact, full of kisses. Love this guy. And he's 1.64 kilograms. So he has pulled ahead for the first time and is not the smallest puppy in the litter. He was the smallest puppy in the litter every week up until this week, and now Mr. Green Collar has that title. Oh, Mr. Purple, I hope that your sister has got a nice smelling bum there, because that doesn't look like really how you'd maybe want to be sleeping. Mr. Purple Collar, he's quite a go-getter as well. He doesn't hesitate to use his size. He is just learning that he can knock people off of toys if he just comes and gives them a bit of a body check. But he's a gentle giant. He's got not a single mean bone in his body, just a real love bug. Handsome fellow, our chocolate party boy. And Mr. Purple is 1.8 kilograms. And he still has, oh my goodness, the biggest tummy you ever have seen. He is a wide puppy, that's why, with his little bit of pumpkin on his back there. And then last but not least is our pink color girl, and she's trying desperately to sleep. Well, Black is trying to engage her in play, and she's just having none of it. She is also, oops, sorry. I lifted her up the wrong way there. She is also a lively, fun, go-getter puppy, very outgoing. She's always one of the first to do everything, even though she was the last born in the litter, and she is 1.89 kilograms. So she is almost as big as Blue Collar Boy. That's who are. So that's the puppies. We hope you enjoyed this week's update. I'll put the links to the grooming video in the description for you. There's 3 of them. So there's one for puppies, one for older puppies, and then one for adult dogs. So don't forget to make sure that you're going and checking out groomers. You might even want to make an appointment for a face tidy and a bum tidy for your puppy about 2-3 weeks after they've gone home with you. About 3 weeks after would be fine. And that's just to trim out their eyes and keep their bums clear so that they don't have any poop sticking on their bum, because nobody wants that. And if you have a moment, we'd love it if you could comment on our video for us. We love to chat with you on YouTube. And if you are too busy for that, just a thumbs up would be great. And don't forget to be subscribed to the channel so you are notified of all our videos. We try always to give you some bit of new information in each of our videos. And thanks so much for watching. And we will see you again after, not for 2 weeks for this litter, because not this weekend coming, but the following one is our puppy family visit. So that will be your litter update for that week. Thanks so much for watching.